Starting XPatch2 for the first time. Let's double click on the folder, start the program. Tells me the config file is missing, which is normal the first time. And there we go. You can see it's configured as a XPatch32 at the moment, or for an XPatch32. The help is displayed. And the first thing I want to do is convert this to an XPatch-64, since that's what I've got connected. Open Settings, click on XPatch-64. Now confirm that and quit the program. Let's run the program again now. And here we are, it's now configured for XPatch-64. And we will now connect to the unit itself. There we go, it's now connected. If this is the first time, or if you run it, you can check here the settings of the XPatch-64. These are configured from the factory or when you change the program. As you can see, it has high Z input on inputs 57 to 64, sorry, the last 8. All the destination gains are fitted, and source gain 57 to 64 is also fitted. Mono sum, which is configured with a link inside the unit, is not enabled. The mono sum is only used for the TMC1. Let's do a quick run through the equipment page, just showing the front panel connections at the moment. If I widen this, we'll get a bit more text. Here we go. And notice that the help follows the right hand side of the program. This screen unfortunately is quite small, so I better shut it down a little bit so you can see all the help. There we go. Front panel. This used to be headphones only, but now includes input gain controls for all the front panel connections. Meters, snapshot list, path display, and the matrix display. In the settings, let's change to a medium font. Both the matrix and the paths, you can set the font size from small, medium to even large if you want to. Medium is quite nice, but when you want to see everything, small is better. So what I would tend to do is I will have the settings on this one as small to see as much as possible. You can, by right-clicking, you can drag across around the screen, left and right, as well as up and down on the matrix display. Now let's load an existing file and see how it all works. Let's go to the equipment rack, file, load. There we go. Right, now you can see some of the new features in here. We've added a type column, which allows you to define the type. Each type is color coded. You can set the type and colors in the equipment type color in the settings menu, and you can edit these names yourself. Just call this one Fred, just for fun. And you can even change the colors by right-clicking, which I won't do at the moment. Okay. When you build the list, you can enter it here, or you can click on a type and change it here. You can see this file was actually made on a different computer where the 500 series was called 500 rack. So I'll cancel that change. Okay, so we've got the notch colors here. Let's go to the paths, and here we have some paths. And you can see how this is now multicolored. The colors here follow the colors of the equipment in the rack. Before I leave, I've got one thing. This is the order in which things were entered. and then you can arrange them by type here, meaning that you don't have to enter all the types at in the same time, and you can switch back quite easily. That order is followed here in the file, so you can see the different settings on the palette. Okay, this is all quite convenient. Let's make, as this is a small screen, let's hide the help, widen the screen, and I wanted to show you one or two things in the path array. And we'll go to small in the settings because otherwise we won't see it. Okay, now if you're used to using a guitar pedal changing system, you might be quite used to setting things up like this, and then you can bypass, B for bypass, individual units, and that will enable it. So here you can see it's going out of the console into this one, bypassing these, going through that one, and out through that. We can bypass that one. We can this one, and then we can swap the two. We can swap with next. There we are, swapping next, and swap them round. But we can do other things here as well. For instance, you can, if you want to have them syncly, we can select them like this. Notice you can't have two things connected to one output. You can, however, have a stereo set up here and connect to different outputs. These will automatically switch off. So when I switch this one on, it'll switch that one off because it's going to the same output. If I was to change the output here to say 2, I can come from there and go that way, and then don't interact anymore. You can connect two outputs simply by adding another output to the end. Let's add 3 there. Notice as soon as I did that, it disabled the left-hand channel of this because that's on 3. So let's just change that to 7 for a moment, and now I can re-enable that one. So now we have console 1 going through here, going to 7. If we insert another unit in here, we can actually even add another unit here. So let's add something here. Let's radio 2, there we go. So now you're going out of console 1 into this unit to console 2, going out of this, coming also from the output this one, bypassing console 2 because you can't come through an output, going through to something else. You may never want to do this, of course. It's a little bit, but you can get the idea. Stereo, I can switch it back to two monos, go back to stereo, and when it's in stereo, it switches in stereo. If I was to insert a unit here, it will try to insert 2. If I set up a new path here, let's do this. Let's click here, choose console 6, say. I want to go out through console 6. I can choose anywhere along here, up to here. Let's say I want to go out to console 6 as well. And notice it's now linked straight through to console 6. And now you can put a unit in here. Let's put in the way, there we are. And now you can enable it and disable. Right clicking allows you to set up a name. Let's call this one, I like Fred. There we go. And you can type a description if you want to. Also allows you to clear the row, delete a row, insert a row. Okay. So let's try to insert a row when we're here. There we are. It's copied the name, but you can edit that. And I can also delete that row. Notice that when the cursor is over a box, the white line around the outside of the box indicates that you're in the right place. I can now delete paths. There we go. There it is. And you have 45 paths on here. Each path can have up to a number of devices. Enough. And you can disable everything by pressing the disable button. Now what does this do? Let's have a look. Let's put those in. Go to the matrix, and now you can see in the matrix what's happened. You can directly enter things in the matrix if you want to. The matrix stays in the same order as you entered them. So this is not reordered as you, unlike the PAS and the equipment rack, this is not reordered. Now here you can see this is the, you can see these have no gain on the inputs, so they can't mute. These have, so they can mute, and you can see the gain here. I've got a 10 dB of gain and 14 dB of gain on the pedal input. It's normally -10. The others are normally +4. The outputs, unused outputs, are all muted, as you can see. The meter outputs, unless you connect something to them, they're labeled as meter. In fact, I've connected the pedal to meter 1, so that comes out as pedal. Here are the front panel outputs, and you can find them down here as well, separated. That's all. Bye for now. While we have the whole page showing, I will show you the language. So first of all, go to language, change it to French, say. Click on OK. Now you can see here, this is in French. Not quite as up to date as the English, but it's still there. But currently the buttons haven't changed. So let's close the program again. And now we'll reopen it in the French version. And now here you can see the labels. Right, the labels have changed here to French, and the help is also in French. To enable the help, F1, disable F1. One of the nice things about the help is it shows you, let's go on here, the shortcut keys, which are available when you're on here, and changes depending where you are. Okay.